This is the dramatic northeast ridge of Yr Elen, also known as the Dragon's Teeth Ridge, and you can probably see why. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how I got on with the ridge, as well as a guide to the full route, which starts in Bethesda. As you can see, the views from the summit of Yr Elen are fabulous. You may have heard of Yr Elen because it's actually one of the 15 peaks that's over 3,000 feet. So if you are looking to tick this one off your list, I would say don't necessarily think that you'll just do it as you're doing Llywelyn and David and carrying on to Fwygrach and Fwyfras. Instead, why not do it in its own right, as I've done? This route is such a beautiful way to climb this mountain. You come in via an absolutely stunning Cwm. You see a beautiful wellspring, Cwm Caseg. It's gorgeous, and I really recommend that you try this route. You're currently watching a 3D fly-through. It's from the route that I've plotted on OS Maps. I absolutely love this feature for planning walks. It's so useful to see the height gain and the shapes of the mountains. So you can really get a feeling of how the walk's going to progress before you go, which I think is just really useful for making sure that you don't come across any really massive surprises on the walk. Obviously, what it doesn't do is give you that detail of the route. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get to the ridge and how I got on with the Dragon's Teeth, aka the scrambly bit up to the summit. So if you're excited by this fly-through, I really hope that you're going to enjoy the video where I show you what it looks like in real life as you're walking up this ridge. If you want to just skip to that section, then have a look in the description. I've put a little link there so you can skip ahead, but also there's a link which shows you the exact OS Maps route, everything else you need to know, all of the detailed parking information, etc, etc. There's everything you need. So do have a look in the description if you would like to skip ahead. But next up, we're going to start looking at the route right from the beginning as we start from Bethesda. So the route starts really easily, just like this. But actually, you're going to be walking through a farm, through farmland. So, and that can always add little difficulties where you're not quite sure where you need to go. Signs often aren't quite so perfect, but actually with this one, you either head straight up to the left or head to the right, and either which way you will go round this farm. I had the wonderful experience of walking through some lovely cows. They were okay and it's not too much trouble. But what I did was I actually started off on a route which would have taken me if I wanted to do the high kind of horseshoe route that you can do. But so you can see in the route map that I've got linked to on my website, there's a little kind of bit of incline that I do before I then start on the ridge. You could avoid that if you want to, by going round to the right hand side of the farm. After that, you're just setting off on this really, really lovely, it's like quite a wide track, and you're just walking along, you're looking at Yr Elen ahead of you. So you can look at this, so on the 3D fly-through, you could look at it and go, oh, there's this kind of boring section where you're just going flat. It's absolutely not boring at all. It's beautiful. You're walking through this big, wide valley. You're surrounded by some of the most epic mountains in North Wales. And also, you suddenly realise, Cwm Caseg, what does that mean? Caseg means mare. So what it means is that you're surrounded by Carneddau ponies as well. There are masses of them. Come on, Zig. Okay, so the next really important thing that you need to know about this route, there's a lot of water and there's a lot of bog. So if you don't have waterproof shoes, boots, whatever, and if you don't have gaiters or waterproof trousers, this probably is not the route for you to take in winter.
Ready?
I actually did quite well. I managed to get through and my feet were fairly dry, but I did at some points end up knee deep in bog. So when you've nearly reached the end of this valley, so you're literally, the mountains are on you, you need to start heading to the right, and because you want to cross the river. So your target should be the sheepfolds beneath Foilgrath. There is a visible path that you can see that hugs the side of Carneddau. The valley narrows and Yr Elen is now directly on your right. I think you get here the first proper look at the Dragon's Teeth, the North Ridge. So you might have been walking along thinking, is that it? Is that it? But no, this is where you start to realise, yeah, I can see this slightly spiky ridge. But it's just as you're walking beneath Carneddau and you're walking into the valley. So this valley is quite magical because it's actually known as Cwm Caseg, which means Mare's Spring. And there's a book that belongs to my grandfather, and in it says that this is where the Carneddau ponies come to breed. So I don't know what that means, whether that means it's where they fall or, where they meet each other. I don't know. I assume it's where they fall. It's really quiet. So obviously if you are here, you just need to respect how quiet it is. When I was there, actually, there were quite a lot of farmers on quad bikes. So it, wasn't that quiet. But I think you can see from this video how stunningly beautiful it is. And when you get to the actual lake, it's just, I don't know, it took my breath away slightly, because I think it's probably the quietest area of Yr Elen I've ever been in. And it's right beneath all of the really popular parts. So that makes it feel even weirder, because I know I've been stood on, even though I've, Carneddau and David and all the rest of it, they're not that popular, but when you're stood somewhere and you just think, I just feel like I'm on my own completely here. It was really weird, so beautiful. And then knowing that I'm about to walk up the Dragon's Teeth was very exciting. So my biggest tip about getting up onto the ridge from the lake is just make sure you stay on the grass, and it's fairly obvious actually. Just zigzag up the grassy bank. It's really steep, so zigzagging is exactly what you need to do. And I've actually, in the route map that I've planned out, I show the zigzagging because I want people to know it's very steep, and that's definitely the easiest way to do it. So here I get up onto the ridge, and it's my first time. It's breathtaking. So I'm looking up at the ridge, I'm looking down at the valley that I've just walked across, and then just looking back down the ridge. And I guess that, you could have done a route where instead of walking to the lake, you could have walked up that section, but it's so beautiful. I absolutely was just on cloud 9 at this point, seeing this view and then looking up at the ridge. Wow, it's so beautiful. Okay, so here's where we look at how it feels to walk up this final summit of Yr Elen. And actually it's not a scramble. Really, it's just very steep. So there are sections that feel like you're walking up a ladder almost. There's grassy bits. It isn't climbing. It's not scrambling really. It's just very straightforward walking. Occasionally you might need to hold a bit of rock, but ultimately this is easy. And the most difficult thing about this walk is actually, are you fit enough? Because it is fairly breathtaking. So as you can see, it's actually just a little walk up the hill. It's not massive. It's very steep, but there's no exposure and there's no real scrambling. So this North Ridge, this dragon's teeth, the only reason it's called that is just because of the spiky rocks. There's nothing dangerous about it. This is not the equivalent of doing something like Bristly Ridge or Cwm Caseg or anything like that. What you're doing when you're walking up here is just literally finding a path, choosing a path, a grassy path. And yeah, maybe you might have to grab onto a rock to pull yourself up a little bit, but you're definitely not, it's not scrambling. However, that said, just beware that you need to check the weather forecast, because this would be quite dangerous if you had zero visibility, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So, and I would never go up something like this if I hadn't checked the weather forecast and I didn't know that the cloud height was going to be way above the height of the mountain, which is a big important thing to look at. And also just to make sure that you're not going to be in horrible horizontal rain, which just would make it not fun. Is there anything better than being at the top of a mountain? It's just beautiful. So now you're just going to look for the way back down. I actually had a massive learning curve on this route. So yes, it's really easy. I follow the path and you can see Royal Ganol, and I went down the zigzag scree path. But when I got to right down to the bottom, so back onto sort of almost flat ground, I decided, there's this green route. Actually, maybe I'll take that and I'll try and do a different route where I go, get back to the path that I was on. I think it would have made it I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes quicker. But what I actually ended up doing is making my entire route an hour longer, because I basically walked across, didn't find this green path, didn't find the crossing point, had a bit of a kind of, I can't decide what to do. Should I go up, find back up the stream, the river, and find this point where I should cross, or should I head on? And I tried all sorts of things to cross the river, and I just thought, no, I can't cross it, it's too much. I just need to get back onto the path that I was supposed to be on originally. The actual path, the path that is in my route description website, just click through to the description. That's the path. But it didn't take me long to get back, but it was so boggy and it was so irritating, and there was like sheep hiding everywhere, it felt like. And Ziggy was kind of pouncing out, obviously he's tied to me because he's on a leash, but it just felt like he was pouncing on sheep constantly because they were just hiding, and it was very stressful. I think it took an extra hour, but there you go. Just showing you that lesson learned, just stick to the original plan. So in this last section of the walk, you're now out of the access land. So as soon as you cross over through that gate, you just need to be paying careful attention, making sure that you're following all the signs. And the worst thing you want to do is get stuck on the wrong side of a fence where you can't get back over. So just keep an eye out. Some of the signs are fairly hidden. There's also broken stiles. So you've just got to pick your way through. It's actually quite straightforward, especially if you've got your OS Maps app open and you can see that you're on the right, that green path that's heading down. It goes to the left-hand side of the farm. So that's pretty much the end of this walk. Thank you so much if you have watched all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. Big message to leave you with is 100% respect the countryside code. Don't leave a trace that you've been there. And obviously when you're parking, just make sure that you respect the locals. This is their home and they don't need to be blocked in or whatever. But if you've enjoyed this video, please head to the comments, leave me a message, let me know if you've walked it, if you're planning to walk it, or if you're just loving the fact that you're sat in your armchair and you're able to just experience this walk from your cozy, comfy position. I would love to know what you think, and if you've got any tips for other routes that you think I should be doing, then let me know those as well. Thanks a lot for listening. Speak to you soon.